Hello everyone. In this video, we will be learning chapter number 9, part 3. So let's move on together. Our topic of discussion will be the case study, sheep rearing in Australia. An introduction. First of all, we have to understand that why it is so important, sheep rearing, why it is so important in Australia. First of all, it is an important economic activity. Another one is it is world's leading producer of wool as well as beef. Moving on to the next one, question arises, why are sheep reared? So sheep are basically reared in Australia for various ways, for various uses actually. One of them is dairy farming, their milk. Another one is meat, wool, beef, cattle. So these are the reasons. That's why sheep are basically reared in Australia. Now question arises, what is so favorable in Australia that sheep are reared so easily? Okay, so in that case, we have to learn using this slide. First topic of this is climate. Australia is having arid and a semi-arid climate that provides good grazing grounds. Huge grazing grounds, fields are there that makes these sheep to have great amount of food. The temperature also there is actually the area is most of the time arid and semi-arid only. Talking about the another point that is related to the socio-economic advantage. Most of the farms in the case of Australia are easily accessible via ports, via oceans and the other roadways routes also. If you can transport anything easily, that will automatically make the industrialization of that thing to grow. And therefore, this actually allows the sheep to basically reared easily in Australia. Transport routes are easily available there. Now question comes up, let's learn together various terms of this sheep rearing. Question comes up, what is sheep breeds? What are the various sort of breeds they can have? So Australian most famous breed is Australian Merino. Most important, it provides a very good quality of wool and at the same time, it also provides a very good quality of meat. But make sure that there is not only one single breed available in Australia. There are other breeds also. One of them is Suffolk, then Dorper. One of them is also Border Leicester. So these are the other breeds that are even available in Australia. Now let's talk about the farming area. Sheep farming areas are basically, you can find them in the temperate grassland area. Which area? Temperate grassland area. So since this is a revision class, let me again revise it for you that temperate grassland is also known as downs. What's the another name? Downs. This temperate grassland in Australia is mostly located in Murray-Darling Basin and some parts of the southern eastern and southwestern coast area also. Now the area which are having higher rainfall like Victoria and New South Wales area. Small pastures, small fields you can find there also with a large number of sheep available. So this was all about the sheep farming area. Now let's talk something about sheep station. Sheep station, what is it? So sheep are basically reared. They are made to grow up. They are nurtured over small farms, sometimes large farms, depending on to the area. Such farms are called as sheep station. In case of Australia, most of the places are having large farms. Where are they located? Such farms are located in southwestern and southeastern area of Australia. Now, who own them? So basically, sheep stations are owned and managed either by a single person, by a person, or either by a family. Now, the person who is owning it, the owner, will be called as pastoralist. or the grazier. What? Grazier. Sometimes even companies own such sheep stations. So these time when certain companies are owning such sheep stations, no, they are called as pastoral company. What company? Pastoral company. Now pastoral company are managed. If a company is owning it, someone has to manage it. So who is managing? Pastoral companies are basically owning such sheep station, and those sheep station in that case are managed by station manager. What? Station manager. If a person owns, that is a grazier or a pastoralist. If a company owns, that is a pastoral company. If a company is owning it, it will be managed by station manager. So let's move further and digging in deep with the sheep stations. Most of the sheep stations are available, are found actually on public land. They are given on lease by the government itself. And these lease are called as pastoral lease. Which lease? Pastoral lease. They themselves are self-sufficient village. You can find there various windmills, small workstations, other sort of the facilities also. First aid sort of the facility will be also available. Now stations at the same time have various workers together. So thus the stations had windmills, various workers, and itself it is a self-sufficient village. The grazing area where the sheep basically used to graze is divided into enclosed fields, small enclosed fields. These fields are called as paddock. What? Paddock. Livestock in stations is called as mustard. The sheep, those who are living there. And people who look after them. There are different sort of the people who look after them. Those people who look after these sheep are called as stockmen. What men? Stockmen. Sometimes sheep are taken from one place to the another, from one market to the another, from one owner field to the another. And this process is called as droving. Droving. Who is doing it? Drovers do it. Drovers. Now, in these sheep stations, various routine jobs are also done. Mending the fences, working, and then mending up the windmills, etc. The person who do this job, if there are various numbers of the persons, workers who are doing this job, then they will be called as station hands. What? Station hands. The worker who does this routine jobs. Now, if there is another new person, a trainer, he wants to get trained in this all activities. So those trainers will be also assigned up the duties. They will be learning such duties together. But there comes another name for them. Such men, a trainer who is learning these new skills, new jobs, are called as jackaroos. And while if it is a woman, she will be known as jillaroo. So this is all about the sheep station. Here are the other terms we should know. Sheep shearing. This is something new. Now what is it? When you are cutting down the woolly coat, the fleece of sheep, that is sheep shearing. And a person who does this job is known as shearer. So shearing is basically cutting down the wool coat of the sheep. And the man who is doing it will be known as shearer. Now, it is done annually, most of the time in Australia. Annually shearing is done in shearing shed. Where? Shearing shed. And if we are talking about that what time, then it is done in late spring and early summer. Right now, these modern days if we are talking about, in Australia, shearing is considered as a skilled job. As a skilled job. And the person who is doing it is actually skilled shearers. They are also known as gun shearer. Now, a person who is owning these sheep stations, that person hire a team of professional shearers. Those team, I mean the people in that team will come visit to that sheep station, will stay there for some point of time, will do all the sheep shearing, that means cutting down the fleece. And once that is done, they will move off to the another sheep station. Now, whatever wool that is cut down by the sheep shearers will be put in different boxes, or you can say different bins, which will be later transported. As per the quality, they used to get categorized. And once the categorization is done, classification of these wool qualities are done, they are further transported to the different markets. So that was all about the sheep shearing. Keep on learning. Thank you.